Hey guys, thanks for watching my channel. Welcome back. And I just wanted to do a quick tutorial video to follow up on my last HTML and CSS, or I guess that was just a CSS crash course type of thing. I wanted to follow up and do a complete landing page in just HTML and CSS, although I am going to use Bootstrap for excuse me, for a navigation bar. It's just easy to copy and paste from Bootstrap for a nav bar, and they have a lot of nice features to it. So, and I know a lot, obviously Bootstrap is pretty popular and has been for a little while. So, I feel like that's the better option. So anyway, to be honest, and first of all, don't mind the noise in the background. It's my son playing video games in the morning, and it's about 10:30 in the morning, so he's already up with me. Everyone else is asleep. So anyway, so don't mind the noise. I appreciate appreciate your patience. This is the best I could do right now. So anyway, so I really didn't do any prep for this. Although the other day I was recreating my portfolio site because I had one a while ago, and I got rid of it because I didn't feel like paying GoDaddy an arm and a leg. So I think what I'm going to do for that is just create an HTML landing page with my projects, my resume, and that's it. And host it on GitHub with Netlify. And maybe I'll come out with that soon because Netlify is free and it's very good. And of course, GitHub is free. And it also teaches you version control, which is a big deal for job interviews and getting jobs in general. Okay, so like I said, I didn't I didn't prep for this too much. I just kind of hit record and started going. So let's jump into it. So I have a folder I'm using Atom Text Editor. I have a folder landing page, which is what I'm calling this. I have my index HTML file, and then I have a CSS folder with a master.css file in it. So for HTML, for Atom Text Editor, I'm gonna hold Tab and hit HTML and then Enter, and then it gives us that. Uh, Landing page, give it a title. Let's see. First, we got to bring in our Bootstrap. So let's type in Bootstrap 4. Okay. Introduction. CSS. We're not gonna get into JavaScript in this. This is just a basic tutorial. And we're gonna copy our CSS link. We're also gonna create our by typing our CSS link, and we're gonna type just link and then enter, and it gives us our CSS folder. That's kind of why I named it Master CSS. You can call this whatever you want. I just called it that because Atom Text Editor sort of gives you that automatically. I think that's all we need. All right, let's do real quick while we're here in Bootstrap Components. This is not ideal, but for this tutorial it'll work. So we're going to come here and grab this nav bar, copy to clipboard, and we're going to come in here inside of our body. We're going to give ourselves this nav bar. I'm going to delete this form. I'm going to delete this disabled link as well as this drop down link. Um, Move everything, tab it over inside of that. I'm going to keep this home. Yes, it's my son. I'm going to change this to Adam F. Home. We'll change this to, I don't know, about. Okay, so we got our nav bar. So let's uh, close that. And actually, let's save it and see what we got.
Daddy, I have to go poo poo.
Thanks for letting me know. Uh, Sorry, guys. So anyway, so close that nav bar. So we're going to save that, and I have Prettier installed so that it's going to reformat everything for me once I save. I'm going to go up to here at Packages to Atom Live Server and Start Server. This is great for testing your HTML and CSS files. JavaScript, it usually works, but it's not ideal, but it does work. So here's our home link, here's our about link, and here's our brand, whatever. This is my GitHub, by the way. It's my YouTube channel. So here's our landing page. I'll close these. Actually, I'll put a link. I'll put this code into my GitHub repository, and I'll put the link to my GitHub in the description for you guys. All right, so let's get into that. So now we need, let's clear some space here. Here we get into the meat and potatoes. We need a div. This is going to be our main div. I'll call it header. And then we need a second div inside of that. We'll call this content. Okay. And then we're going to do all our HTML. We're going to put in here, we're going to do an H1 and we'll say Adam Designs. This is kind of something you could use for your portfolio site. We're going to do a P tag and we're going to say, I don't know, do life. Oops, life. Okay, and then we'll put a call to action button, do a hyperreference, and we'll do about, and then we'll put a button. We don't need the type, we don't need the name. That's if you're doing a form. We're going to do class. Since we have Bootstrap, we might as well utilize it. BTN, BTN dash LG for large, BTN dash, we'll say danger, so it's red, and we'll put learn more. It's sort of a generic thing, but it's the way it is. So let's come down here. We'll have a couple of sections. Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, so we'll have a couple of sections. I just had to shut off my son's video game because he's not currently using it at this point. Anyway, so we have a couple of sections. So we'll do a div with a class of section and section dash light. Okay, that's all we need. Let's do a p tag, and I'm going to come here and go to lorem ipsum generator. Just generate some generic texts so that we can just fill up the space, copy, come back to here. And by the way, guys, I'm sort of breezing through this. Just want to give you an idea of how it's done. H3, let's just call this the about section, and then we'll put our stuff here, right? Save it, and then Prettier will format it like that, which is nice. I'm going to copy this section, come down a little bit, we'll give another here, we'll call this section dark, which sounds racist, but I don't think it is. We'll call this contact. And at some point I'll do a tutorial with Font Awesome and stuff like that and how to manipulate them, because I really like Font Awesome and it's a lot of fun to work with. Okay, so I believe that's all we need for the HTML. Let's look at our landing page. Yeah, see, now obviously this is standard HTML with Bootstrap, so it formats the text a little bit, so that's normal. We're done with that. Okay, so now we just have CSS to do. So I'm going to do this asterisk with bars, and we're going to reset the margin to 0 and padding to 0. And I'll show you what that is. So by the way, the asterisk points to everything. It resets everything in the page until you reestablish it with something. So see how we have no padding. Let's see. Let's bring in a Font Awesome. Google Fonts. I'm gonna pick. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Let's go with. I feel like everybody uses this Roboto thing or this. Whatever. Let's use this Monsanto rant, whatever that's called. Where the heck is it? Oh, you can here. You can just here select this style. Doesn't matter. We're going to embed it. We're going to import it into our CSS file. So we're going to copy that. Come over here and actually I'm going to put that first, and then our So you put our import for our font first, so that downloads first. Then HTML. By the way, that's how you do HTML tags in CSS. Where is it? This one. So everything inside of this tag is going to be included. So whatever you put for here is going to be included in the entire document, which is going to be our text or our font family. We're going to copy and paste because that's the way it's easiest. So we got that. Also, we want to set scroll behavior to smooth, and I'll show you what that is later on. Let's see, what else do we have to do? We don't have to do anything with the nav, so let's go straight to our header, which is a class. So you started with a dot period, right? Where are we? Our header here, so it's a class. If it was an ID, you would do hashtag or £, but it's a class. So we want to do, let's see, we want to do height is 100 viewport heights, which means that it if the screen, whatever screen you're on, is cut into 100 sections, this would fill up all of them, as opposed to if you put 90, it would fill up 90% of the 100. Hopefully that makes sense. And we're going to go width. We'll do 100%. You could also do 100 viewport width. We're going to do, let's see. We need background. We're going to do this 333. Oops, 333. Then we're going to do URL. And I got to work on this in a second. We're going to do img slash background dash img dot, I think it's JPEG, I think. Speaking of which, I downloaded this folder. Where is it? Here it is. I downloaded this image from pexels.com. I'll show you what that looks like real quick. Pexels, right here, and you type, brick wall. It's a nice site. I like to use it. I mean, it doesn't have everything, but it's got decent amount of stuff. And you can even pick, what size you want to download. So we're going to save this as into our folder, which is here. I'm going to create a folder. New. Come on. Folder called IMG. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to rename this BG-IMG, and it's a JPEG already. So there we go. What was that? And there it is. Oh, yeah, and I spelled JPG right. Okay, good. So then we're going to do, no dash repeat, center. I think it's this or that. I can never remember. Cover, but we're going to cover the entire thing. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to do that. What else do we need? I'm trying to think. Well, let's see where we're at. Let's do the content. Oh, I know what we need. Jeez. Most important thing, display. We're going to display everything inside of this div as flex. We're going to justify content to the center because we want everything to be centered. We're going to align items to the center. And I'll say text align center. I think that's it. I don't think, oh yeah, let's put a flex direction in there as, I think, row or maybe column. I can never get those straight. We're going to say, excuse me, our dot content is, actually, I don't know that we need anything for that. Let's see what we got first, and then we'll go from there. Okay, prettier. Refurbishes it. Okay, good. So see how everything's in the center. I got to change this to, that's what I got to do for dot content. as color. Oops, color is white. By the way, for white it's 6 Fs, but if you just do 3, that's the same thing. But they got to be all the same. Just like dark black is 222. It's actually 6 2s, but you can just do 3. A little shortcut. I'm sure everybody knows that. Let's see, background, that should be right, I believe. Yes, correct. Save all. Prettier reformats it, and actually it automatically refreshes. Okay, good. So we don't have our background image, and I gotta look to see what the, I forget it, I'm pretty sure I got this correct. Sometimes it's weird. Sometimes when I'm doing this, I don't know why, and I don't know if this happens to anybody else, but sometimes if I clear the browser history, for some reason that like CSS sometimes takes a little bit to catch up for some reason, especially when you're doing something like a background. Yeah, see, it's still not caught up. So let's move on. So let's do, okay, so let's do our sections, okay? We're going to do section, our section light. First of all, we're going to do just, oops, we're going to do just the sections of what we want it to do. So a dot section. So this will apply to both the sections that we created, right? This also needs a ID equals about, okay, which our nav bar is, where is it? Yes, okay, so we're going to change this link to hashtag about, and I'll show you why in a little bit. But basically, when you do a hashtag and the name of the ID, when you click the button, it's going to scroll down to that. And in fact, we're going to change our call to action button. Well, no, I'm sorry, we did it already. So it's gonna go to that. I'll show you real quick here. So you scroll down, and it's just going to script. Now, of course, it doesn't look right because we haven't done anything yet. So let's do this section. We're going to say height is, we'll say 100 viewport heights, or viewport height, sorry. Width will be 100%. Display flex direction will be, I think it was column. We'll say, oh, justify content to move move everything on the X and Y axis, center. Justify content, I believe, moves it on the up and down. It moves it in the center from top to bottom, and I believe align items does it. Align item center does it from left to right center. Section section dark. We're just going to say background color. Oh, whoops. It should be dash color. We're going to say 333, which is like a sort of a dark slate gray, and we'll do color white, just to blend in. Okay. Let's see, we got. It's not giving us the picture. Let me just double check. This is what I come to for a real quick reference guide. I'm sure you've all heard of it if you're anywhere at all familiar with that. Let's see. Opacity, no. Background image, that's what we want. Yeah. Let's see. I guess maybe it's this one. I can never remember.
It's very sunny today. Today.
No, I guess it's not that. Oh, oops. Oh, I forgot some padding there. Okay, so let's add some. Here, let's add some. Hmm, let's add some padding. So we're going to do top and bottom is 0. That's what the first number is. Then we're going to say, I'll say 20% for left and right. That's what that is. So it's going to apply some padding. Let's see if that's enough. Should be. Yeah, see, it just pushes it in the center here. And then you go down here, scroll, 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 scroll. Very important. So I know this is the right, I'm just making sure. Maybe I forget what it is. I always get it. Oh, that's what it was. You need it for some reason. If you put it in a subfolder, you need this slash to tell it that it's in a subfolder, that it's not directly in there. So there you go. I think that looks decent. Let's tell you what, real quick. Let's change up the. So we're gonna do right underneath this header. We're gonna do dot header h1. We're gonna do font dash weight. Whoops. Weight. We're going to say 900. We're going to do font dash size. We're going to say, I don't know, 120 pixels. Yeah, I think that works. And also we'll do, oh no, sorry. We'll say dot header p tag. We're going to say font dash weight. I don't know. Say 300. It's 100, 200, 300, all the way up to 900, and then there's bold. Let's do, sorry, font size. We'll say a little bit smaller, obviously, 75 pixels. Let's see what that gives us. Yeah, ooh, that's nice. Yeah, I like that a lot better. Now, is that practical? I don't know, whatever. But you can just play around with it. That's so, you know. Here we have our padding. Padding pushes the space between whatever's in the box in more inside. It creates space. Margin moves the box around. So we got some nice stuff like that. Let's increase that a little bit. Let's do dot section. What did I give it? For these sections, H3. So let's do dot section H3. We'll say, oh, excuse me, font weight. We'll say, yeah, we'll say 700. And we'll say font dash size, let's say 75. Similar to the other. Save all. Yeah, it just gives it a little bit more. Okay, so I think we're done. And then you add your other links to different pages here. You can come to your main section here, and in our link you just copy this list tag, bring it down, and you can change it to whatever portfolio type, whatever you need to, and then you change this to your link to wherever it's going. Save it, save all. Thing. See, and then you got another link. Yeah, that's not bad. You can also do with Bootstrap. You could do nav dark background dark. Yes. Save all, and it just makes it darker. Actually, let me decrease this. Yeah. See when you. Oh, you know what? See, Bootstrap automatically adds this little hamburger menu for mobile menus, but in order to get it to be a drop down, I'll show you what you got to do. Because this messed with me for a little while. Basically, you just got to add the CSS, even though you're not using JavaScript necessarily. That dropdown runs on JavaScript. Save all. See how it formats the script tags real nice? That's nice. Okay, so let's bring this in a bit, and it drops down. So you got to add for your little mobile menu, you got to add the JavaScript from Bootstrap, even though you're not necessarily doing JavaScript yourself. All right, so there you go. So I will put this in my GitHub account, and I will put a link to that in the description. And I appreciate you watching. I would also appreciate it if you subscribed and liked this video. Um, like I said, I just did it real quick. It's something that I love doing stuff like this, like design work. Um, just coming up with creative, color and contrasts and everything like that. It's a lot of fun to me, and this scrolling thing, of course, is pretty cool. So, it's the big hot thing nowadays, right? So, all right, guys. Well, listen, thanks for watching. Like up this video, subscribe, and turn on the bell notifications because I am coming out with a React masterclass in which I build an entire MERN stack application, and not a to-do list. It's something different, something a little bit more involved, but I'm going to try to give you all the fine points that I can within a YouTube video. It is going to be several parts to it. I can't put all that in one video. It'll be like 2 hours long. But yeah, subscribe, like, and comment. Much appreciated, guys. Take care.